what's that pollen-pistil interaction? Let's study this pollen-pistil interaction. See, when you talk about the pollen, that is a pollen grain. When you talk about the pistil, that means collectively called as what? Ovary, ovule, and the style. That is called pistil. So how it interacts? Let's talk about that. So what is that? Let's study. It is the interaction of a pollen grains with the sporophytic tissue, that is the stigma. Sporophytic tissue is the stigma. As we mentioned that stigma is a sticky liquid. On that, pollen grain get deposited because of the stickiness, mucilage present in that. Because of that, what happens? Pollen grains get deposited over here for a longer time. It begins with the pollination and ends with the fertilization. So these are the two. Once the pollen gets deposited, it start with the pollination and it ends with the fertilization. All the events from the deposition of the pollen grains on the stigma to the entry of the pollen tube in the ovule, that is synergids, are referred as a pollen pistil interaction. So what is pollen pistil interaction? Here the answer is here. The entry of a pollen tube in the ovule, who guide them, synergids, are referred as a pollen pistil interactions. So pollination does not guarantee the transfer of a right type of pollen. Often the wrong type of also land on the stigma. The pistil has the ability to recognize and the accept right or compatible pollen of the same species. Thus, wrong type of pollen is discarded by the pistil. Compatibility and incompatibility of the pollen pistil is determined by the spatial protein. This process involves pollen recognition followed by the promotion or inhibition of the pollen. So pollen pistil interaction is very important. First, it why it takes place, because sometimes may happen the wrong pollen get landed over the stigma. They don't want a germination of that pollen grain, so it's take out which is right, which is wrong. Or see, the plants want variation. For the existence they need a variation, so they have this mechanism, pollen pistil mechanism, which filter out which is not important or which is less compatible or incompatible pollen grains are discarded. So this is a process in which pollen pistil interaction is very important.